Welcome to the Hudson Township Board meeting. We call to order at 4:30 p.m. Central Time. Now we start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alright, thank you all for being here. I have my usual agenda out in front of me, so that's a mistake on my part. But typically we start with the fire territory update. Now I know you weren't there. I'd advise people to listen to it on YouTube, on the channel that you're listening to. But what was covered that was worth mentioning. They put in a process to try to have less mutual aid coming in, something about marking themselves as available on scene. So if they're available and they're on scene, just because they don't have something else to do, I guess, then they'll be able to go to that fire rather than mutual aid being called in immediately. And then they gave us the statement that their fire marshal sent to Amazon and the general contractor out east about the incident. They wanted to emphasize that the building, I don't believe it was occupied by Amazon, and that Amazon did not shut off the fire alarm there. So that stuck out to me. Did you happen to watch it? Anything stuck out to you?
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. Well, that's what I can think of from the fire territory.
Well, you did tell me that the fire marshal is giving them some sort of a list or a protocol.
Yeah, basically don't shut off your fire alarm, and a bunch of other things that they
Okay.
found that weren't acceptable that they need to correct before the fire department would sign off on occupancy for
Okay.
Amazon. Financial report. We began this is the financial report for April. Our beginning balance was $73,183.66. The ending balance was $69,954.36. We had quite a few checks go out. One was for $75 to Drayton Beige and Cerugo and Elliott LLP. That was just a discussion with the council. Indiana Michigan Power got $4.91 for electricity. The Indiana Michiana Insurance got $1,792, and that was general liability insurance. $450 went to Lakeshore Recycling for trash and recycling. Indiana Michigan Power also got $6.31. And County Wilkinson got a check for $60 for having prepared food for the park cleanup. I used the card for two purchases. One was $901.28 for fencing that we put in the park, and $84.22 went to Ace. That was basically just oil and stuff, maintenance. That was done to the mower, one of the mowers. Any issues with that? Any questions? Else I might be seeking a motion.
Motion to accept.
Thanks, Susan.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We could knock out the minutes from the prior meeting and then Debbie speak if you'd like. This is the Hudson Board Emergency Meeting minutes for 4/17/2025, called to order at 4:30 p.m. Central Time with board members Wilson, Tesco, and Kaczynski in attendance. Pledge was given. Fire territory update not available. See prior meeting and upload to YouTube channel. Financial report not available. See prior meeting and upload to YouTube channel. Old business. Kaczynski motion acceptance of landscape services LLC's bid to mow park and cemetery for $200 per mow. Wilson seconded. All were in favor. Trustee Austin spoke to Courtney at the DNR and learned that Hudson Lake was last stocked in 1991. General survey was performed in 2023 and determined the fish population was sustainable and a fish stocking permit would be required to stock the lake. A plan would be required and an approval by Courtney. She would not consider a plan that includes bluegills or largemouth bass. Contact information for Courtney was then provided to Tesco should he wish to follow up. Tesco's motion, acceptance of the April 10th meeting minutes. Wilson seconded. All were in favor. Wilson motion to put two grills at park not to exceed $500. Kaczynski seconded. All were in favor. Kaczynski motions to purchase an 8-foot rectangular table for the park and to provide the details to the possible donor. To purchase a second identical table should he wish. Teska seconded, all in favor. Kaczynski presented a estimate by PM Electrical LLC to energize the park. The estimates exceeded what is available in budget. Wilson will reach out and pursue further estimates. New business, discussion of budget limitations and intentions to start the process of additional appropriations to make use of funds from the sale of township property to continue improvements at the park, namely bringing power to the park, lights, and use of well. Wilson makes a motion to place a 17-foot flagpole at baseball field to not exceed $200. Teska seconded, all in favor. Public comment, Colby Plummer commented on a tree limb dangling down in the cemetery towards a headstone, expressing his concern and hopes it will be taken care of. Wilson motion to adjourn because it's seconded, all in favor. And in the future, I might try to provide this so we don't have to read them out every meeting, especially if they're gonna get longer and longer. Any issues with that? Any corrections I should make before?
I did reach out to
Courtney?
Courtney.
Accepted.
She said that the next step was to get a fish stocking permit
Okay.
and then contact suppliers. Although she said she wasn't in favor of bluegill, she said she would be in favor of red ear and also walleye
Why no bluegill?
because of the population that's in the lake already. That they're very prolific, you know, so she's
They're
like,
called red ear and what?
red ear, it's a type of bluegill, but it's just,
Okay.
there's about 100
Yep.
different
What was
ones.
the other fish you had mentioned?
Walleye.
Okay, interesting.
And she said that she would get with me, but she said to go to the DNR website and see where this permit is. I phoned the website and I couldn't find it, and so I need to recontact her, and she said she could find it and get the permit,
Awesome.
and then also suppliers to,
So could-
find out how much it costs.
So could people start reaching out to suppliers to see what that cost might be so we can prepare for it? I guess we
Yes.
could.
We could.
Depends what the plan is gonna
But
be,
she's
though.
gonna give me a list of people that are suppliers that,
Gotcha.
you know, and, I mean, she talked about a lot of fish.
Right.
And I don't know that we, 4,000 or 5,000 on each one. I don't know that, we're gonna spend that kind of budget, you know, but,
I have no idea what something like that costs.
I have no idea of it. But-
You?
I don't know yet because she said it fluctuates with different suppliers,
Right.
but it just sounded like a lot. 5,000 walleye, you know, that sounds like a lot of money,
So,
and I don't know that we wanna do that, you know, but,
right.
you know, give it a taste, see if it works, you know, and I'll talk to her more when she actually, gets me rolling on this permit and also suppliers.
Awesome. That sounds good. Thank you for following up with her. We have a motion to accept the meeting minutes. Is there a second or any?
Second.
Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Alright,
Would you like to come up and join us, please introduce yourself to the camera? Well, she's got an event, she needs to get to.
Okay.
I think you have to be on
Yeah,
this
if
side.
you don't mind.
Alright, hi, good afternoon, good evening, I'm Nicole Barker with the South Shoreline Railroad, if you're the only one who doesn't have my card yet. I've been working since 2016 at the railroad, I was the double track Northwest Indiana project manager. It's almost done, next month we're gonna open our 11th Street station, I don't know if you've seen anything we're doing, but it's been, I always joke that I used to have red hair, so it's exhausting, but really, really worth it and really exciting. Now I'm shifting into some new roles, including community engagement for all 4 counties from St. Joe to Lake. And so I'm going up to as many places as I can just to say hi. Anything you need from the railroad, if you need information, if you have a gripe, if you have a recommendation, feel free to reach out to me anytime and I will be your liaison moving forward. So just wanted to say hello. And then secondarily, we're about to undertake, we do 20-year strategic plans. Our last one, we actually accomplished everything in it, which is really kind of neat. We're about to open our new West Lake corridor later this year. That's the new line. It's our first time having a branch. It goes from Hammond down to Munster-Dyer border. It's 8 miles of additional track. And you'll notice on the new sign you guys got here, it says in small print, Lakeshore Corridor. So now our main line is called Lakeshore Corridor. And that line is going to be called the Monon. And those of you that like history understand that the Monon Railroad rode downstate from here to throughout Indiana. So that's a nod to history for that line. So as we are looking forward for the next 20 years, we're looking for as much input as we can from as many people as we can. And so I've got these flyers. This has on right here, it's got this public survey that's gonna come out. It's not out yet. June 5th is the date. And we are hoping you can share that link with your town. And if anybody has comments, I know there's so much going on with the concept of a new Carlisle station and what that would mean for Hudson Lake Station. But a lot of people are giving input about they do want a station, they don't want a station, they want us to extend our tracks, from right now we go to Munster Dyer in Lake County, go all the way to Lowell, go to have a new line to Valpo, have a new line to LaPorte. The people of Elkhart are trying to get us to go out there. Are those ideas that are of any interest or help to you? I don't know, but and it's totally fine too if you write in and say we don't want a railroad near us and we want to close. It's all okay. Everything is fair game when it comes to counting.
Are you putting a station in over by Bales?
What's Bales?
In New Carlisle.
In
The new Carlisle station, we had a public meeting, I don't know, 2 months ago or so, and I don't know, 100 people showed up. And we looked at I think 5 total sites. 2 of them are where you think they are. It's like right where the
Where the trailer park is.
yeah, the trailer park and the little track used to be. And then the other site is to the west. So that we call those sites A and B. We also looked at sites because we talked to some of the businesses like Amazon and so forth and thought, do you want to have your employees take the train and would you have some kind of shuttle bus system? And they just kind of said for now they're not ready for that. And everybody, for the most part at the public meeting, said they want a downtown station. So that said, these planning processes, look at me, I started a double track and we had
Downtown New Carlisle station.
and this is New Carlisle, yeah. And so we're many years from that, and we don't know where the funding would come from. There's a lot of, we have to go through planning, environmental analysis through the federal government, through all the regulations. So for example, double track, I started in 2016 and we are just finishing the project now.
So you don't own the land over
The
by the
county, I
Lions
think,
Club?
owns that. On the Lions
They
Club,
own some of it.
yeah, I think there's a sliver there, but
And
they
the
don't.
Lions Club saying?
I don't know the
You
answer
don't
to
know,
that.
okay.
I think the next step is kind of figuring out which of the 2 sites is the final choice. And they would have to be willing to sell.
I don't know where you would put downtown.
Doesn't the South Shore own a chunk of ground right along the tracks out by Smilex Road?
Yes, and there's also, there's South Shore Freight, which runs sometimes on our tracks and sometimes they have sidings out here that are separate from us.
Okay.
So yeah, it could be one, we used to be the same company, so it kind of.
Not anymore?
But that's so far.
No. No, they're a private, we're a government agency now of the state of Indiana, and they are a private short line railroad owned by Anacostia Holdings.
So, what about the station that's supposed to move to the west end of the airport? Is that happening?
Well, okay, so we call it the South Bend Airport Realignment Project.
Okay.
And we just turned in grant funding to try to make that happen. We are waiting to hear back to see if we're getting the funding we need. We're still pursuing local match, and I think there's some options going around for that. That's a key project that's in our current strategic plan that we do hope we're gonna be executing
Yeah.
really soon.
I remember that one from years ago.
Cut 10 minutes off the trip, which would be great.
Yeah.
And then, also, I thought the double track was supposed to go all the way to South Bend.
No, it terminates at Michigan Boulevard in Michigan City. The desire to go east of there is really limited. Because you live out here, so when you ride the railroad, there's these like steep drop offs. I was just looking at some of the construction photos from 1908, 1909. And it's steep and it's all wetlands, lakes. You can imagine the impact it would have from a regulatory standpoint. And there's just not enough ridership to warrant, it would be way more expensive than double track or Westlake.
99% certain it used to be a double track.
We have a lot of sidings, like in Michigan City, people often say, they show us photos in Michigan City, there was a siding down the middle of the road, so it looks like it's double track.
I'm talking out here.
Oh, here, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, there was a sign by my house,
Probably
There's-
siding,
there's
some of them
a
are
sawmill.
long.
right by my house. So around the bend, right down the track here, there was a sawmill years back. And then there was a stop by my house because there was a hotel.
But was there a double track then?
It was just a
long
siding. And so there were 2 tracks, but it didn't
Coming out of
extend
Sawmill.
all the way
Right,
out.
right.
Because there's houses right,
Yeah,
I'm right up there.
yeah.
Any other things you're hearing about our current station or our current service?
Well, the biggest, one of our biggest concerns around here is, because we've heard a lot about it, if they put something in New Carlisle, they're not gonna need it in Hudson Lake.
Yes,
Well, we don't wanna eliminate what we have here.
you don't wanna eliminate the station.
Right.
Okay, that's good feedback.
I mean,
That would be exactly the type of feedback I'd want you to write back in and have residents comment on that as well.
Were all the same community, but Hudson Lakers consider themselves different from Newport.
Yes.
So,
Different county.
We've got some people that live out here.
Well, and your schedule changes have dropped the ridership from here. Because the first express train in the morning that goes through and gets through here about 5:15, 5:30, will not stop here. Even as a flag stop, it is an express. You only have, so when your schedule changes, and I've seen it over 30 years, has just reduced the availability for riders to get here. And I can remember one of the meetings where Carl Beck indicated that, oh, there were only 4 riders. And I thought, well, yeah, but you only stop here once a day. So how convenient is that to increase ridership?
Yep, and I would say write in if you have specific train, we get a lot of people with specific train numbers, and we actually pull that through and look at, you know, we want this train to add a stop here. There will be another, when we roll out the Monon corridor later this year, there will be another schedule change. That one's pretty much, I think, solidified. I'm not in that process, but we do welcome comments year round, because there will be adjustments, for sure.
Could I just inquire about the survey? When does it close? Do you have that
Oh,
open?
I think it's open for a month, if I remember correctly, but I'm gonna email you when it opens and kind of trigger you to
Perfect.
do whatever you need to do.
Absolutely, I'll send it out and I'll send it again,
Okay,
just so everybody has it. Thank you very much.
yeah, thank you for
Thank
having me, I
so
appreciate it.
one last, so if you were to just take a stab at it at this point, which location would you say?
Oh, I feel like A and B, the other sites I think are off the table that were closer to the, Indiana Enterprise Center, the IAC. So I think it's either west,
The old trailer park, what we
Is
call
it-
the old trailer
is
park?
the trailer park on the right side, right?
The east side.
East side. Yeah, so there's pros and cons to both. I think INDOT's input's gonna really help drive that. And then, you know, we'll be deciding that, I think, in the next few months, so. If you
I
have
think,
thoughts on that, feel free to write into me, or email me directly, whichever way.
I think the locals' concern is that the 2 houses, have already been bought up and they're boarded up already.
Yeah.
So, I think maybe the locals kind of feel like they're getting backdoored just a little bit, like, okay, nobody's saying anything, but it's awful ironic.
Sure.
These 2 houses are boarded up and, we don't know what's going on.
That's important, but yeah,
So,
I get it.
just saying, and I have friends that live right there.
Right there.
Like, what the heck's going on? I mean,
My hope is that INDOT will find a feasible solution roadway-wise for either option, and then we can decide, yeah. You
Okay,
should hear very soon though, so.
okay, cool,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks,
it.
Nicole.
Have a good evening.
Alright, back into things, old business. Yeah.
Electric, we're gonna have to table until we get appropriations, right?
Right, I mean, maybe still worth discussing just to see, has anybody else gotten a bid, what did the bid come into?
We have 2, we're wanting a 3rd bid.
What did the second one say, like what was the total for the
Well,
work?
It was just under 10 grand.
It was just.
Did you get it?
It was just under,
Did
okay,
you see
I
it?
wrote that down.
No.
It was just under 10 grand.
But I'm waiting
Both were similar.
to hear from a 3rd
Yeah.
electrician. I've reached out and, I haven't heard anything yet, so
Well,
I'll get back on it.
regardless, we're gonna need to do the additional appropriations, process if we're gonna move forward with it this year. And I am working on that. I don't have anything to report on it though. I did print off the budget sheet. I don't think we need to go through it, but if you wanna see what's currently available in our budget, you can
No,
review
I'm
that.
fine with that.
Any other old business? Or we might have a quick one.
Terry, you know, for down there to the phone, because you know how when we were out there, you.
I sent it to.
Oh, you already.
That,
Some of them.
so old business that Colby brought up last meeting,
Yes.
the branch that he was talking about, it's way worse than I thought. It's not a low hanging branch, it's actually broke.
And it's just hanging on by a thread.
It's on top of it, old tombstone.
So we'll wanna start getting bids for somebody to come out and take care of that professionally. I mean, cause if we cut it down with our pulley system or something, it's just gonna come down on it, it might survive. but-
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
And I looked at it, I've cut a lot of trees, and it's dangerous, and there's actually
Twisted
two.
too at the top. It's like
Okay.
Yeah, there's actually two like that,
Do we wanna take the tree or just the limb?
probably just the limb.
Okay, so let's put it out, if anybody, let's start looking for bids, I got some people
Who
like
wants
this.
to, one of us decide to get bids for doing the tree?
I mean-
Who can do that?
My angle
Now
was,
inquire.
my angle at first was, you know, we have several tree companies right here in Hudson Lake, maybe it's something that, a company would be willing to do on a short day at the end of the day. It can't be more than an hour job with a boom truck, you know.
Could you reach out to them on our behalf?
It could, yeah.
Okay.
If you would,
I
if you
will.
would, and then, if, I mean, anybody bring a bid if you can. I will reach out
I
to
have
some
someone
people.
that has, that,
Does that
we've
sound?
had a lot of trees down for me.
You wanna hit them up, Cheska?
You know Eric Phillips?
Yeah.
He works for Casey.
Yeah,
He does a lot of work on the side.
you wanna hit them up?
I can get him up. I got his number. at
See
home.
if you can, do something there, but they're worse, they're not low hanging, they're actually
It needs to
broken
come down.
on the ground, and one is covering a tombstone. And they can't mow through it,
Okay.
so.
It's
Alright.
visible from the road, you can see what we're talking about.
It's
on
on,
what-
they're on the east side.
Okay.
They're on the east side of the cemetery. The rest of the cemetery looks beautiful. Our mower choice, is doing a great job. It's clean, it's mowed, it's beautiful. It's just that east side.
Alright, let's all reach out to people, to get bids.
And the only other old news, we did go down and figured out why the light wasn't working on the flagpole, and now it's working, and it's.
Good.
Was it the button?
Yeah.
the button.
You can't tell if it's on or on.
Yeah,
You push it,
Right.
yeah, all right, good.
cool.
So it's on now?
We thought it had the little plastic tabs around the batteries that sometimes you have to
Yeah, you
take
gotta pull them.
and pull.
No,
It wasn't that, it was the button,
gotcha.
so.
Yeah, I remember we had to have the fire department out a couple
Yeah.
times to press that button.
It was the button.
Any other old business, moving on to new business?
Nope, that's it.
Any new business we should address? No? I love that, alright, public comment? No? Alright, this is a quick one then. I'm
Motion
gonna
to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, second,
Second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
I am desperate.
Thank you very much. I will be posting the petition for Nicole Barker on the Facebook account in case you're interested in talking to her. Have a great evening, everybody.
Used to be a,